The game changer, sedan, when we talk about revolutions in the automobile industry. Most people think of iconic cars like the Ford Model T, the Volkswagen Beetle, or the Toyota Prius. But in 2012, another name was carved into the history books, Tesla Model S. It wasn't just a new electric car. It wasn't just another sedan. It was the moment when the world realized that electric vehicles weren't destined to be boring, slow, or impractical. They could be thrilling, luxurious, and capable of competing with, and even outperforming, the world's best gas-powered machines. The Model S wasn't Tesla's first car. The Roadster came before it, and while it attracted attention as a proof of concept, it was niche, expensive, and limited. But the Model S, this was Tesla's first true attempt to step into the mainstream, to challenge the dominance of BMW, Mercedes-Benz, and Audi in the luxury sedan market. It was bold, it was risky, and yet it paid off in ways no one could have predicted. In 2012, the automobile industry was still skeptical about EVs. Hybrids, like the Prius, were popular, but pure battery electric vehicles were considered toys or experiments. Range anxiety was real. Charging infrastructure was almost non-existent outside a few major cities. And yet, here came Tesla, a startup led by Elon Musk, with a sleek sedan promising more than 250 miles of range, a massive touchscreen center console, cutting-edge software updates, and acceleration that could leave sports cars in the dust. This wasn't science fiction anymore. It was here, it was real, and people didn't know whether to be amazed or afraid. Imagine stepping into the Model S. For the first time back in 2012, the flush door handles slid out automatically, as if welcoming you into the future. Inside, there were no buttons cluttering the dashboard. Instead, a massive touchscreen sat at the center, controlling everything from navigation to climate to suspension height. It felt more like stepping into a spaceship than a traditional car. For many drivers, this was their first real encounter with Tesla's philosophy, minimalism, technology-first design, and the belief that the future of cars wasn't just about horsepower, but about software and experience. But let's rewind a little. Why did Tesla even dare to enter the luxury sedan market? Why not stick to niche sports cars like the Roadster? The answer was simple: scalability. The Roadster was Tesla's proof of concept. The Model S was Tesla's declaration of war on the traditional automotive industry. It was the car that would prove EVs could sell at volume, compete on price, and capture the imagination of the public. And it did exactly that. The Model S was praised for its long range, over 265 miles on a single charge. Something unheard of at the time. It wasn't just slightly better than the competition, it obliterated it. Other EVs barely managed 80 to 100 miles. Tesla offered 3 different battery packs, minus 40 kilowatt hours, 60 kilowatt hours, and the range-topping 85 kilowatt hours. The 85 kilowatt hours version quickly became the most desired because it eliminated range anxiety for most daily use cases. Suddenly, long-distance travel in an EV was possible, at least in theory. Of course, Tesla knew it couldn't just stop at range. To win buyers over, it had to be fast, very fast. And so, the Model S delivered shocking acceleration. The performance version could sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4.2 seconds, rivaling German sports sedans like the BMW M5. For an all-electric car weighing over 2 tons, this was astonishing. Reviewers were stunned. Motor Trend famously called it the quickest four-door car we've ever tested. This was the statement Tesla wanted to make. Electric cars weren't slow golf carts. They were performance machines. And then there was the design. Sleek, smooth, aerodynamic. The Model S looked elegant and futuristic without being too radical. Its long sculpted body gave it presence on the road, while the clean front fascia, lacking a traditional grille, immediately set it apart from gasoline competitors. It was both futuristic and familiar, bridging the gap between innovation and practicality. Awards came quickly. The Model S was named Motor Trend's 2013 Car of the Year, the first time an electric vehicle had ever received such an honor. It also won accolades for safety, receiving a 5-star rating in every category from the NHTSA. Consumer Reports went even further, giving it a score of 99 out of 100, the highest rating they had ever awarded to a car. These weren't just small victories. They were seismic shifts in how the industry viewed Tesla. But behind the glamour of awards and glowing reviews, there was a deeper story. Tesla was still a young company. Its survival depended on the success of the Model S. Elon Musk himself admitted that if the Model S had failed, Tesla might not have survived. Every detail, every innovation, every risk was taken with the company's future hanging in the balance. And somehow, the gamble paid off. The Model S became not only Tesla's lifeline, but also its identity. It wasn't just a car, it was a symbol. Owners weren't just buying transportation, they were buying into a movement, a vision of a world. Without gasoline, a belief that the future could be better. Tesla's marketing strategy leaned heavily on this identity. They didn't advertise in traditional ways. Instead, they let the product speak for itself, and word of mouth spread like wildfire. It wasn't long before the Model S broke sales records. In 2013, it became the best-selling EV in the world. In markets like Norway, it outsold gasoline cars, proving that consumer demand for EVs wasn't limited to California or tech enthusiasts. This wasn't a fad. This was a shift. And yet, success brought new challenges. Scaling production wasn't easy. Deliveries were delayed, early builds had quality issues, and critics questioned whether Tesla could maintain momentum. But despite the hurdles, the Model S continued to evolve. Tesla introduced over-the-air updates, something no other automaker had attempted at scale. These updates allowed the car to improve over time, adding new features like enhanced navigation, energy-saving modes, and eventually even semi-autonomous driving capabilities with autopilot. Suddenly, your car wasn't static, it was alive. It was evolving with you. This, more than anything, cemented Tesla's reputation as a tech company as much as an automaker. Traditional car companies released new features with new models, locking customers into a cycle of upgrades. Tesla broke that cycle. Your Model S could wake up one morning with new capabilities it didn't have yesterday. For many, this was the moment they realized Tesla wasn't playing the same game as the rest of the auto industry. Tesla was writing new rules. By the mid-2010s, the Model S had become the face of Tesla worldwide. Celebrities drove it, tech executives flaunted it, governments praised it, and competitors scrambled to respond. Suddenly, BMW, Mercedes, Audi, and Porsche were all accelerating their EV plans. The Model S didn't just change Tesla's fate. It changed the direction of the entire industry. But to fully appreciate the story of the Model S, we need to dive deeper into its creation, its technology, its design philosophy, and its impact. Because this wasn't just a car that won awards. This was the car that made Tesla a household name. This was the game changer. Sedan. As the Model S matured, it didn't remain static. Tesla treated it like a living platform, constantly refining and upgrading it in ways that shocked the industry. In 2014, Tesla launched the dual-motor all-wheel drive system, the Model S P85D. Suddenly, this sleek luxury sedan was capable of producing a mind-bending 691 horsepower, sprinting from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.2 seconds. And if that wasn't enough, Tesla soon added ludicrous mode, a cheeky but groundbreaking feature that pushed the car into the realm of supercar performance. Now, the Model S could do 0 to 60 in as little as 2.8 seconds, leaving Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and McLarens embarrassed at stoplights. The auto world didn't know whether to laugh or cry. An all-electric family sedan was outperforming their most cherished performance machines. This performance was made possible not by traditional combustion tricks, but by the very nature of electric propulsion. Instant torque, seamless acceleration, no gears, no lag, just a surge of silent power. It was exhilarating and terrifying all at once. Drivers who experienced it for the first time described it as being slingshotted into the future, and that sensation became a Tesla trademark, a thrill no gasoline car could replicate. But performance was only half the story. Tesla also focused on safety. The Model S's battery pack, mounted low in the chassis, gave the car an exceptionally low center of gravity, reducing rollover risk. Its front crumple zone, free from a bulky engine, absorbed impact energy better than most rivals. In crash tests, the Model S didn't just pass, it set records. The NHTSA even reported that the Model S had the lowest probability of injury of any car they had ever tested at the time. For buyers worried about trusting a new company with their lives, this was powerful reassurance. Then there was autopilot. When Tesla first rolled out the semi-autonomous driving system in 2015, it was unlike anything the world had seen in a production car. The Model S could steer itself on highways, change lanes with a flick of the turn signal, and even park itself. While it wasn't fully autonomous, it gave drivers a glimpse of the future, and it sparked heated debates about technology, safety, and regulation. Critics warned of overconfidence, while enthusiasts marveled at the convenience. But regardless of opinion, autopilot ensured one thing: Tesla was always in the headlines, and the Model S was the center of attention. As years passed, Tesla didn't abandon the Model S. Instead, it updated it again and again. In 2016, a major facelift removed the front nose cone, giving the car a cleaner, sleeker look that aligned with the newer Model X and Model 3. The interior saw improvements. Software gained new features, and the battery technology kept evolving, pushing ranges well beyond 300 miles. By the late 2010s, Tesla had turned the Model S into not just a luxury EV, but one of the most advanced sedans in the world, period. The cultural impact of the Model S cannot be overstated. Before it, EVs were seen as compromisers. After it, they were aspirational. Owning a Model S wasn't just about driving electric, it was about making a statement. It said you were forward-thinking, innovative, and part of a movement bigger than yourself. Silicon Valley elites adopted it as their car of choice. Celebrities showcased it in public, and suddenly, EVs weren't nerdy anymore, they were cool. Traditional automakers scrambled to catch up. Porsche, Audi, Mercedes, and BMW all accelerated their EV development programs. launching projects that would eventually result in cars like the Porsche Taycan, the Audi e-tron, and the Mercedes EQS. But by the time these cars hit the road, Tesla had already set the benchmark. The Model S wasn't just a car. It was the standard by which all other EVs would be judged. Of course, the journey wasn't without challenges. Tesla faced criticism for quality control, customer service issues, and autopilot controversies. Fires, recalls, and lawsuits made headlines. Yet, despite the negativity, the Model S continued to sell and continued to improve. It became a lesson in resilience, proof that innovation doesn't come without risk, and disruption doesn't come without backlash. By 2020, nearly a decade after its launch, the Model S was still relevant, an eternity in the fast-moving tech world. Tesla introduced the Plaid variant, pushing the envelope even further. Over 1,000 horsepower, 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 2 seconds. A top speed of 200 miles per hour. These weren't just numbers, they were declarations. Tesla was proving that electric vehicles weren't just catching up to gasoline cars. They were surpassing them in every metric that mattered. And it all started with the 2012 Model S. Think about that for a moment. In 2012, the Model S was Tesla's Hail Mary, a desperate gamble to keep the company alive. By the mid-2020s, it had become a legend, a car that redefined an entire industry, forced giants to adapt, and showed the world that the future of mobility was electric. Without the Model S, there might not be a Model 3, a Model X, a Model Y, or the upcoming Cybertruck and Roadster. Without the Model S, Tesla might have remained a footnote in automotive history instead of becoming the most valuable car company in the world. And that brings us to the heart of the story. The Model S wasn't just a product. It was a turning point. It was proof that innovation could win against tradition, that a startup could outpace giants, that dreams could materialize into steel, glass, and electrons. For Tesla, the Model S was survival. For the world, it was transformation when Motor Trend crowned it the 2013 Car of the Year. It wasn't just giving Tesla a trophy, it was acknowledging a paradigm shift. When Consumer Reports rated it 99 out of 100, it wasn't just reviewing a car, it was capturing the future. And when thousands of owners drove their Model S home for the first time, they weren't just buying a vehicle, they were stepping into history. As we look back now, more than a decade later, the legacy of the 2012 Tesla Model S is undeniable. It remains a symbol of ambition, a testament to risk-taking, and a reminder that sometimes one bold product can change everything. The gasoline era didn't end overnight, but the Model S lit the spark that made it inevitable. It was the sedan that proved electric was not only possible, but preferable. So, when we call the 2012 Tesla Model S the game-changer sedan, we're not exaggerating. We're recognizing the car that changed the rules, rewrote the playbook, and forced the world to reimagine what a car could be. It was more than transportation. It was inspiration. It was Tesla's rebirth, and it was the beginning of a revolution that's still unfolding on the roads around us today. This is not just the story of a car. This is the story of belief, of defiance, and of vision turned reality. The Model S wasn't perfect, but it was powerful enough to shift the course of history, and that, above all else, is why it will forever be remembered as the sedan that changed the game.